WrestleMania is always one of the biggest nights of the year for WWE. The company has split the event. What used to be a 6-hour pay-per-view is instead a 2-night spectacle. While it has made it easier to watch WrestleMania, according to many there have been more matches added to the card as a result, some of which don't need to be there. Still, WrestleMania Night 1, despite some controversy, had a lot happen that made it enjoyable. This is Wrestling. I'm here the complete results from the first night of WrestleMania. The show opened with Brantley Gilbert singing America the Beautiful. It continued with Mark Wahlberg in a video package welcoming fans to the show, and then the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders dancing to Thunderstruck. Finally, it was time for the first match of the night. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at WrestlingHubOfficial and also follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. Shinsuke Nakamura started the match for his team hard and fast, going immediately for a big kick to the face of Jimmy Uso. Though soon enough the Usos regained control, trying to isolate Shinsuke in their corner. Nakamura got away and tagged in BOOGS when Jay came in as well. Rick hit the delayed suplex on Jay, going down on one knee and getting up again, displaying immense strength. The Usos took out the knee from under BOOGS and the style of the match changed as a result. With Nakamura alone, he tagged in as BOOGS tried to recover from his injured leg. Nakamura tried the Kinshasa but ate a super kick instead, followed by a splash. He kicked out, but the Usos then hit him with another super kick, after which they hit him with the 1D. Just like that, the Usos won. The Usos defeated Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs to retain the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. The Bloodline started off the WrestleMania weekend in style, with Roman Reigns being the one to close it. Will they go out standing tall as well? It was up to Drew McIntyre and Happy Corbin to lift up the crowd as they were wondering if Boogs had been legitimately hurt during the earlier match. They did that well. With MADCAP at ringside, Drew had to bring his A game and keep it focused on Corbin completely throughout the night. With a lot of attention on them, the two veterans put on a clinic. Corbin hit McIntyre with the deep six, but McIntyre was ready for it and kicked out. He then went to the top ropes and took out Corbin with a dive from the top. McIntyre was then going for the Claymore, but MADCAP dragged Corbin out of the ring. McIntyre was not having any of it and did a plancha over a top rope onto Corbin and Moss, taking them out. He took out Moss and threw Corbin into the ring. Corbin seemed to look like he was ready for McIntyre and hit him with the End of Days. That looked like it was it, as no one had ever kicked out of the End of Days in his career, but to the shock of everyone, that was not it. He kicked out. Drew McIntyre hit him with the Claymore, taking advantage of his confusion, and that was it, as Drew McIntyre got the win. Drew McIntyre defeats Happy Corbin. After the match, it looked like Madcap Moss was trying to attack McIntyre, but Drew with a Sword Angela swung at him and cut the ring ropes. Rey Mysterio was isolated in the opposition quarter by Logan, Paul, and The Miz. He is beaten up, but sends Paul flying. Miz tags in and DOMINIK comes in as well. The two of them do battle as Logan Paul breaks up the pin. DOMINIK grabs his arm and takes him on a combined head scissors arm drag, paying tribute to Eddie Guerrero walking the rope. After this though, DOMINIK dove to the outside, was blindsided by Paul, and Paul and Miz took advantage. He managed to get his own back, finally taking Paul outside and hitting The Miz with a tornado DDT. On top of that, DOMINIK tagged in and then things changed up. He had move after move and then the senton on Miz. Logan Paul then decided to mock the memory of Eddie Guerrero by going for the Three Amigos. He hit it. Paul looked very happy with himself and seemed like he was ready for bigger things. He mocked Eddie's shimmy and hit the frog splash. DOMINIK broke up the pinfall. He took out Miz and then chased Logan around the ring. DOMINIK and Rey hit the combined 619 on Paul, but that was not the end. Miz had tagged in, and as Paul took out DOMINIK, Miz hit the skull-crushing finale on Rey and pinned him, giving Paul a win over Mysterio on the record. The Miz and Logan Paul defeat the Mysterios. However, Paul didn't get to celebrate for too long. Instead of that, the Miz hit him with the skull-crushing finale from behind, putting an end to their partnership. Stephanie McMahon was out next to introduce WWE's most promising signee, Gable Steveson. Given the major push Stephanie gave him, it's expected that he will start to wrestle soon. Bianca Belair had an entrance to a marching band at WrestleMania Night 1. Becky turned away Bianca's hand and punched her. She went for the manhandle slam, but Bianca reversed it into a KOD attempt. That was reversed by Becky into the manhandle slam again, and this time Belair kicked out. Becky continued with the cover attempts and attack after attack. She was trying to get the quick win on Belair like she had at SummerSlam, but it was just not working. Becky continued with the offense, not giving up. The match had Becky with the advantage, but neither woman was willing to give way. They attacked each other again and again. Becky grabbed Belair by the hair and looked to punish her, but it was just not happening. Belair fought out. In the ring, Becky tried the armbar, but Belair got up. Becky turned it into the triangle. She picked up Becky anyway, but Becky managed to dump her out of the ring. The two got into the ring, and Belair is the one who gets the momentum going. Belair lifted up Becky for the pop-up powerbomb, but Becky turned it into a Hurricane Rana. She hit Becky with a front face slam. Belair hit Becky with a slam, dropping her across the top turnbuckle. She went to the second rope and hit a 450. Becky still kicked out and everyone was stunned. Becky hit Belair and went airborne, missing the senton. Both fought and Belair finally hit the KOD, but to the outside. She dragged Belair by the braid and pulled her into the ring post. She then hit the manhandle slam on the stairs, gets in the ring and asks the referee to counter out. Belair just manages to get back in and Becky tries the pin and fails. Belair took advantage of the frustrated Becky to hit her with the KOD, and that was it. Bianca Belair defeats Becky Lynch to become the new Raw Women's Champion. Seth Rollins made his way out to the ring to face his mystery opponent. He waited, and it was Cody Rhodes who came out. He came out to his AEW Kingdom theme in what could be one of the biggest returns in WWE history. The two locked up, and then Cody dropped down to the ground and hit Seth with the uppercut. Seth went for the stomp, Cody avoided it, and they went counter for counter. Seth hit Cody with the suplex, but Cody hangs on and drags him out of the ring. The two had a technical showcase for a hole, and Seth hit Cody with a drop kick in midair. Seth hit a gutbuster, and both were looking quite good. Cody hit a moonsault crossbody for a near fall. Seth hit Cody with a barricade bomb on the outside. Inside the ring, Seth reversed Crossroads, but Cody hit a second one instead. Seth managed to kick out, shocking everyone. Rollins went to the top rope and hit the reverse superplex into the lifting DDT. He beat down Cody and went to the top rope for the moonsault, but missed. Cody hits a double underhook powerbomb and then hits the springboard stunner. Seth still managed to kick out of the move. Seth comes out of nowhere to hit the pedigree. Cody hits two Crossroads before hitting Dusty's bionic elbow, before hitting another Crossroads, and Rollins lost the match. Cody Rhodes defeats Seth Rollins. Ronda Rousey had the advantage early on in the night as she attacked Charlotte with all her strength. Charlotte used her cunning, using the referee to get a cheap shot on Ronda with a spinning elbow. She then went for the offense as she wore Ronda down. Charlotte had the upper hand throughout, refusing to let Ronda get the advantage. She had a modified moonsault after botching the original one. The two continued to brawl as the match continued. Charlotte hit a spinning powerbomb. She tried the figure eight, but Ronda got out. Ronda got the ankle lock. Charlotte was just able to escape and then hit the exploder suplex on Ronda. Rousey looked like she had the match won after a Samoan drop, but Charlotte got her foot on the ropes. Charlotte hit the natural selection, but Ronda kicked out. Charlotte tapped when Ronda locked in the armbar, but the referee didn't see it as he was knocked down. Charlotte Flair shockingly defeated Ronda Rousey to retain her title.
Confidence now, and Ronda Rousey back to her feet. She realizes the champion's on the ropes.
Surprisingly, the New Day's match was cut from WrestleMania. Kevin Owens was insulting Texas and Steve Austin on his show once again. This time, however, he was interrupted by Stone Cold. Owens calmed Steve Austin down and then set him down, and then said he was challenging Stone Cold to a match, not just any match, a no-holds-barred match. Stone Cold stayed silent, letting him say his piece. He then said that he had his first match in Dallas, saying he would have his last match in Dallas, Texas, and called for a referee. Stone Cold and Kevin Owens battled as Steve pushed Owens back and stomped a mud hole in him. Austin sent Owens into the opposite corner, drank a beer, and stomped a mud hole in him again. Austin sent Owens to the outside and then drank another beer. Owens fought back and looked like he was getting ready to destroy him, but Austin took him to the crowd and they started a brawl. Owens hit Austin with a suplex on the concrete. The two of them brawled together and Owens threw Austin back to the ringside area. Austin dumped KO on the commentary table, shattering it. Austin got back in control, got him on his ATV, and took him to the ramp. He then suplexed him on the stage. Austin suplexed Owens on the stage once more. Owens was regretting his decision. Owens tried to fight back and brought a chair, but Stone Cold made him pay instead. He hit the stunner and it was done. Stone Cold Steve Austin defeats Kevin Owens. Stone Cold celebrated with beer in an iconic scene to close the night. Kevin Owens stood up to eat a stunner once more. And this was your WrestleMania Night 1 report. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.